Hello world. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about my wife, Judy. She was a full-blooded German. And not to say that she was raised in Germany, because she wasn't. Her grandparents had migrated to the United States back at the turn of the century and migrated up to Michigan. In 1995, when I took Judy to Germany, we were to find out why so many Germans ended up in Michigan. Well, over the years, her aunts were corresponding with the family, which was still in Germany. A good part of the family stayed in Germany. See, there was lots and lots of brothers and sisters from both Judy's parents and her father's parents. Well, as it turns out, the family had migrated to Michigan, some of the boys did, from the little town of Schwalbronn, which was east of Stuttgart. And a tiny small village wasn't even on the map. But being in contact with the family, it made it easy for us to then make contact and say we're coming over. Well, to our quite amazement, the family still to this day farms the same land that's been in the family since the 11th century. The Weipert, W-E-I-P-P-E-R-T, is still to this day farming land in Schwalbronn that goes back centuries in the family. And we were able to go to the farm, have dinner with the family, like 6 cousins, elderly gentleman and his son, and his sister and the man's wife, still running the farm, farming beets and different crops. Well, we looked at Michigan, and they have similar climate, and that's why so many went to Michigan and farmed similar things. But it was so neat to go into this house and say your great-grandfather slept in that bedroom. They had a piece of fabric there that he had made because he used to work on looms. And in the back of the farmhouse, there was a tombstone from one of Judy's great uncles. See, in Germany, they only bury their dead for 30 or 40 years, and then we never did find out what happens to the bones, but the tombstones can be taken by the family, and this one ended up in the back of the barn. Then we went to the church. What was really neat about the church was on the outside plaque, it talked about Martin Luther, who had broken away from the Catholic Church and formed the Lutheran religion. And this church, again, goes back to 12th, 13th century, and inside it has all the ornate markings of the Catholic Church, but in this date was a Lutheran church. And this is where Judy's grandfather and great-grandfather were baptized, and we could go in there and see where the relatives were baptized, and probably more relatives than that were baptized in that church. So Judy got to see a lot of her heritage. We spent a week with the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth cousins. The one elderly gentleman who probably has since passed away was also a soldier with the German army during World War II and lost his eye. We really never heard from them again, but it was really the thrill of Judy's lifetime to go over there and see this house. It even had a plaque on the wall signed by Adolf Hitler, naming it one of the the great farms of the German culture. So anyhow, that's my short story of today, talking about my wife, the former Judy Ann Weipert, W-E-I-P-P-E-R-T. So if there's any other Weiperts out there in the world that hail from that area, there's a little bit of your history, and this is Gus and Ording saying bye now.